Ladies and gentlemen, we're here to talk about Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley, the face-off on Monday Night Raw. And if the goal was to make Bobby Lashley look like a joke, then WWE succeeded. Let me set it up. I got Revenant R up in here. We're about to jump right on into this. A couple weeks ago, Bobby Lashley wins the #1 contendership match. Brock Lesnar responds by saying, "You can find me on SmackDown Friday." That's disrespect number one. They get into the ring last night, and Brock Lesnar goes, "I didn't even know who you were until we met in the ring." And then we get a knock-knock joke and a Bobby Who chant. Like, there's already this stigma out there, man, that nobody belongs in the ring with Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns except the two of them. And you all but made that stigma correct when you had Brock Lesnar pretty much bury Bobby Lashley. It really made him look weak, man. Reverend Noah, what did you think about that segment?
Man, even if you call me Revenant or Revian, it really doesn't matter. But honestly, all I gotta say is the Brock Lesnar wannabe thing near the end. Like, what the hell? That's not right. That's not right. And to be fair, Bobby Lashley has the Hurt Lock, which is the different name for the Master Lock, which Chris Adonis uses for NWA and NWA Power. Notably, if I gotta be honest about who I'm picking for the Rumble for this WWE title match between Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar, who has the momentum, I would have to say, for right now, it would have to be Brock Lesnar. But in my mind, and that's just in the whole Brock Lesnar thing, that's just a wrestling fan in me. But in my personal opinion, outside of WWE, it would have to be Bobby Lashley because he's won more championships. He has more accolades than Brock in some form or fashion. But remember, Brock Lesnar went into the UFC right around the point that he left in 2004. So basically, it was right around that point. So lately now, we see the dominance that both guys have. But the problem is WWE's trying to work both of them to their peak, but using one of them as a jester, as it were.
Right, and I tell you what, man, if Bobby Lashley, if the build to this feud continues the way it goes, and Brock Lesnar dominates and makes Bobby Lashley look like a fool, and then if we get to the Rumble and Brock Lesnar wins, my opinion is that I think Brock is going to win. But if it goes like that, man, this is going to be nothing but Triple H versus Booker T without the racist element in it. Because Triple H, it was a one-sided build where Triple H looked good, and then Triple H messed around and won the match at Mania. So you got a first-time match. Here's my deal. You got a first-time match, and you got two
NCAA alumni.
Yeah.
Being a part of the biggest match in Royal Rumble history, and they've never crossed paths.
Right. This is I've said it before, this is a WrestleMania marquee matchup. It doesn't even need the title. But if you build it in a way that Bobby Lashley comes off looking like he doesn't belong in the ring with Brock Lesnar, then you really hurt the build and the credibility of the entire feud. Now, what they could have done is, if they would have went with that promo, they could have had the Hurt Business come out and destroy Brock Lesnar, and then that would have made for this is who I am. But it was their bright idea to re-break up the Hurt Business again, and
which didn't need to happen. Again, it didn't need to happen.
Like, what is the point? They broke up the first time, Bobby Lashley beat him up. And it's like,
and they were on good terms though.
Right. And it was the best faction going back then when they were going. And now you break them up again, and like, what are Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin there for? That's my question. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, I mean, really, and I'm saying this, and I'm honestly saying this. Shelton really needs to, really needs to have his release, and he needs to go to Impact with his buddy, Charlie Haas, to Impact Wrestling, and do that whole Ring of Honor versus Impact feud, and do that. But I already know that Charlie Haas, I hope he gets a speedy recovery, because even though he's a big follower of mine on social media right now, but honestly, Charlie Haas really needs to recuperate, because he got hurt during the invasion, at Hard to Kill this past weekend.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, like really, that happened, and I'm like, honestly, that happened, and really that was very disappointing. Honestly, I think for the other reason why that we are having this whole Forbidden Door thing happen right now with WWE and Impact and all that stuff, I think we are probably going to be seeing either Rhino, Heath Slater, or W. Morrissey actually show up on Royal Rumble weekend. Well, probably. It's a possibility, though, but
I wouldn't count on it, but it wouldn't be bad. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that much. It'd be pretty cool. But I wouldn't hold my breath on that one, man. I think that the Mickey James thing is cool enough.
Yes. I mean that one is cool enough, and shout out to my family. We're gonna have a Royal Rumble family get together, and personally, shout out to them, and big shout out to the guys, and even though this is a wrestling podcast, but I just want to give a big shout out to Eric Scott Keemer, aka Sassy the Assassin, for taking the time out of his busy schedule to meet with me, and not just as his pro wrestling manager, but as a fan of the Bullet Club, just doing things right, and the SAC Anime staff, keep doing what you're doing, even though it was freaking chaotic that past weekend. Keep doing what you're doing with the summer version.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. On track with Lashley and Lesnar. You got Lesnar winning the match at the Rumble. Lashley winning the match at the Rumble. Excuse me.
Yeah. I got Lashley winning the match at the Rumble, and honestly, at least walking away with the WWE Championship. And honestly, with the unification, thing coming up, with the Universal title and the WWE title, I mean, really, is there? And here's the thing, is there a point to unifying the WWE title and the Universal title to a point? Like I want your opinion on that.
I would say let's stick with the brand split, because if you do that,
I mean, the brand split is okay. The brand split's okay, but people are starting to say, "Oh, the brand split sucks. The brand split sucks." Really, we've done this brand split before with the Authority being involved. Like, we've done this before, but now it's all chaos and bedlam with. And I'm saying this, it's all chaos and bedlam with Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville being in charge. Like, Sonya Deville had a lengthy career in the independent scene, and she's also been a part of WWE, but now she's taking this managerial role and using the abuse of power stick to get herself more heat. And I'm like, honestly, that makes sense. But Adam Pearce, on the other hand, he's a former NWA world champion, and yet he's using his abuse of power to his advantage.
Right. But sticking on as pertains to the brand split, I think it'll turn into, if you break it all up, it'll turn into Roman Reigns is the champ, and no one being able to be in the same ring as him. So I do worry about that. Right. But looking at Lashley,
but there is the point of Roman versus Seth, and people are saying, Roman's going to finally lose against his Shield brother, and I mean that's what I've been saying, because I've been having these scenarios in my head, like if Seth actually walks out with the Universal title, that means the Universal Championship goes to Raw and the WWE Championship goes to SmackDown.
Right. But here's what I think on that, and I know we're getting way off topic here, but I think Roman wins there, and I think whoever faces Roman at WrestleMania, probably Brock, Roman's gonna win there. But speaking of Brock and Lashley, I like I said, I got Brock winning. And look, hopefully it goes to Lashley. I would celebrate for joy. But I guess we'll see what happens.
Yes,
that's all I got.
I mean that's a good thing. That's a good thing in and of itself, because I think for a lot of reasons that may come to a point, and honestly, there's also the fact of the opportunity that the Royal Rumble winner could have.
Right. Well, we'll see how it turns out. Revenant, thanks for jumping on with me, brother, and we are out of here.